Elections, there are two candidates running for Vienna City Council Recorder. Our Haley Lanham had a chance to talk to them and see their point of view about the city of Vienna.
There are two candidates running for Vienna City Council, Rod Smith and Alice Goodwin. Both candidates have experience working with the public and meeting goals. Rod Smith is retired from Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield after 32 years. His tasks were to meet financial and enrollment goals. Alice Goodwin worked for the WVSSAC, working with coaches and officials. During meetings, her tasks were to take notes and record minutes for board approval. So I asked both candidates what was the most important issues to them, and this is their response.
Me right now would probably be the infrastructure. You know, our streets, our water lines, our sewer lines are in total disrepair and failing every day. And that is something that I feel has been neglected over the years.
Now I'm focused on the Spencer's Landing area. You know, we have to get for entertainment, we have to go to Parkersburg or Marietta, which I'm not knocking that at all. I'm glad that's available. But there's really, in Vienna, there's nothing. So I'm the vice president of the Friends of Vienna. We put on the Freedom Festival.
In Vienna, I'm Haley Lanham with WTAP News.